Your uni, your team. From kick-off to the final whistle. This is the Shock Radio Sports Show.
Hello there and welcome back to the Shock Sports Radio Show. I am here with
Churchill
and Elliot. Brilliant. And we'll be talking everything about the Manchester derby, the drama in the AFCON final, the NFL and the Australian Open. This is our first Shock Show of 2026. Woo! Come on! Yes! Brilliant. So, let's get straight into it. Manchester derby. Ooh. There we go.
Absolutely
buzzing. Well, yeah, initial thoughts then.
Honestly, I thought Manchester United absolutely dominated. Like, I think that's the perfect example of a performance of the whole of, not to sound like Sam Allardyce, but possession is one of the most overrated stats in football because what matters is purposeful possession. Man City had about 60, especially in the first half, 70% of possession?
Yeah,
and they literally had one shot on target the entire game and did nothing, didn't look dangerous. United, every attack looked like they was going to score.
Yes, and I mean, 3 disallowed goals.
I know.
As well.
3 disallowed, 2 off the bar.
Gosh, there you go. I mean,
2-0's generous.
Harry Maguire was 1 off the bar. I mean, everybody was having a go at Man City, Donnarumma that day.
Buzzing to have him back, which, I mean, 3 years ago, saying buzzing to have Harry Maguire back,
He's a bit of a cult hero player, isn't he?
He's unbelievable.
Gosh, yeah.
I have many a time said on the Shock Sports Show that I'm a Manchester United fan, and many a time I've had to suffer through talking about a 3-0 loss to Burnley somewhere along the line.
Oh, as a now a Middlesbrough fan, but was a Tottenham fan.
Sorry,
I understand.
how does that work?
Because my dad's a Middlesbrough fan, so I've just sort of defected to his side until things change. So
Okay, that is next level. To be fair, I'll call you a glory hunter, but you can't really be a glory hunter if you support Tottenham and Middlesbrough.
No, exactly.
Yeah, the best I think I've seen United play in a while. We've had decent games recently. Once Amorim sort of swallowed his pride and played a back four.
Yeah.
We sort of improved for a bit against Newcastle, played all right, and then we just proceeded to be lumped the next 3, and then he got the boot, and then Darren Fletcher got battered by everybody as well, and then Michael Carrick comes in, and finally Gary Neville's DNA of the football club
seemingly done a lot. I mean, he did nothing for Middlesbrough, but then suddenly he's beating Man City quite comfortably.
People clowned on Gary Neville, saying we want the DNA of the football club.
Yeah.
And then someone that knows what Ferguson was like came in and won straight away.
I mean, I'm surprised he didn't sub himself on when he saw Agate play for more than 15 minutes. Even with such a great win, there's still, I feel as though a lot that Manchester United can do to improve on their team, especially sort of in that midfield and back four. A couple of outliers.
That's the thing. We've still got time in January for someone to replace Manuel Agate and replace Diogo Dalot. But the AFCON coming to an end means we have got Mazraoui back, and I can't see a world where a Manchester United manager that wants to win games doesn't play him. He is an excellent right back. He was when he came in under Ten Hag, and just since then has just seemingly hit the ground running and thrived. And then Diogo Dalot got more game time for his wonderful Trivela crosses that he does once every 16 weeks. And Mazraoui sort of took a back seat a bit, but with the defenders coming back, Martinez back, pocketing Haaland.
He's emptying his pockets, his keys, his bus pass, Erling Haaland. Brilliant.
Big pockets for a little man.
I know, yeah.
This
5'2" bulldog just barking up at Haaland, and he just pocketing him. It's brilliant.
Nicky Butt with egg on his face. And Harry Maguire back. Like, the defence now is at, in theory, its strongest. I can't see Luke Shaw playing much more with Patrick Dorgu.
Yeah.
Ballon d'Or contender. He was unbelievable against Manchester City. Like, he didn't score, he didn't get an assist. Like, his stats for that game won't have been anything to shout home about.
Absolutely.
The fun stats anyway. Like, his X might have been great. His XG might have been brilliant, but for people who don't watch football for XG, they watch football for football. Then he was unreal. And Bruno Fernandes, unbelievable. Brian and Mbeumo coming back in. That man will be, whether he's the future completely for Manchester United, but for now, he's going to be a big step.
And he's still, relatively young. He's still got some good years in front of him.
How old is he now?
24 maybe?
Yeah,
23, 24. But the quality he's shown, especially at Brentford before he made the move, and even under Amorim, he shone through a really sort of bad
Exactly.
bad managed team.
Got about
Yeah.
30 seconds into the Liverpool game as well.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, his pace, his finishing, he's a clinical sort of centre forward, and just what sort of Man United needed, and he's showing his worth now, especially under Carrick as well, seemingly given reins of full number 9 almost.
It's that striker issue that's going to be a problem.
Do you rate Sesko?
Well, he's scored, so it's not that he's not scored. He's just not scoring against teams that he should be scoring against. If that makes he's scoring, but against Burnley in a 2-2 draw.
We cannot forget he can jump very high.
He can jump very high.
We cannot forget that.
But
that
he's
is
not when we need goal. United have fallen victim this year of not scoring when they have to. They might not have been conceding as much as they did with Andre Onana. They're not shipping 6 or 7 away. But they're not scoring when they have to. And they've not had a striker that can do that. Joshua Zirkzee was good for a few weeks under Ruben Amorim, was brilliant, and then faded into the back streets a bit. And then Rasmus Højlund never really got going. He had an unbelievable purple patch when he scored that volley against Villa, and then just couldn't stop scoring.
Well, I think he went 007 as well at some point.
Yeah.
Then he did stop scoring. But Sesko seemingly is having that same issue of starting really slow, and it is the hardest job. Well, one of the hardest jobs in football is being the centre man for Manchester United. It's had some massive
And especially
names.
with the price tag that's been put
And the
on
price
him
tag
that
that's
he's
put
been
for him.
bought for.
Yeah.
He shouldn't. I think they have the problem of buying unproven strikers to say we can make them great and we're going to buy prospects, but they should, in theory, you thought when Ivan Toney was available, they'd gone after him and bought someone that is a big old name and got that to help them forward.
Proven.
And he's also headstrong.
Exactly,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
Buy a young
You've got to have
striker,
somebody
but
who
have
can handle it.
someone great as well. Like at the times when we bought Anthony Martial and he was quite young, we had Zlatan Ibrahimovic.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But not the same year, but the next year we had Zlatan Ibrahimovic, who is I am Zlatan, right?
Exactly,
He's one of the biggest and best
They
strikers.
don't know.
to
They
ever play
haven't
the game.
painted God because they don't know what he looks like
Yeah,
yet. You
they've
know
not
what I mean?
painted
I think the issue as well is with, I think it applies to Man United, but also applies to other fan bases. I feel like it is just a general thing in the modern game, is that fan bases just don't have patience anymore, especially for Man United, who for the past, I know for my club, Everton, but when you've been struggling for so long compared to where you used to be, the fan base just doesn't have the patience and the time to wait around for it's all just another rebuild or another project.
They're too
You
busy
want
stuck in the
results
past.
now,
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
They're sort of too busy stuck, in the glory days, as it were.
To a point where you don't have the understanding of where you actually are at
Wait,
right now.
yeah, and you actually need to rebuild, and
Exactly.
you're not that team that you once were.
Yeah.
And a team that's sort of built over years, Arsenal, are dropping points this week in the Premier League. Seemingly don't really want to win the Premier League either. Drawing to Sean
Everyone
Dyche's.
bottled it this week.
I know.
Didn't they?
Sean Dyche's sort of drifty Nottingham Forest, and then Aston Villa losing 1-0 to Everton. I'm sure.
Tierney Barry. It's so good.
Liverpool
Again,
drawing.
Liverpool drawing. It's Spurs giving West Ham their first win in 10 games. Like it's been a poor result for the top 6.
Yeah.
Which is apart from United.
I do think,
who
honestly,
got
though,
good.
this year, I think what's been so great about the Prem this year, it has truly been the embodiment of anyone this year can beat anyone. When you look at that
of course.
mid-table still, it's that with a result or two, you can drop right up or down. We was I think 12th the other day, and I was like, we're going to get battered by Villa. And we ended up, even though I was at the same time, it's the most Everton thing to then drop points against Wolves at home, get battered by Brentford at home, and then go and beat Aston Villa away, who are in great form.
Well, it was helped by Lissandro Martinez's butterfingers.
Oh, it was.
And not being able to catch a moving object.
Although
Emi Martinez, I think. Lissandro Martinez wouldn't be a brilliant.
not Lissandro. Emi Martinez. Sorry.
5'6", I
Yes,
can't
no.
imagine Lissandro Martinez.
Forgive me. Emi Martinez, 2-time Yashin winner.
He's better than Andre Onana, though. Lissandro Martinez, I
well,
imagine.
of course.
what did you think of, just to quickly touch on it, what did you think? Did you see the goal that was disallowed? Jacob Bryan's goal that was disallowed?
When what was it at the beginning?
At the beginning of the game.
Well, at the beginning of the game.
Yes.
Well, they didn't hit the post in 11 seconds as well.
They hit the
you
post
should've-
in 11
I mean, you
seconds,
should have been 3-0
Yeah.
up in that game. I didn't know. What was your thoughts on that?
Basically, what happened, to quickly summarise, is, so the ball's played in from a corner, Jacob Bryan scores a header, he's completely onside, and the flag goes up, and I was like, that's not offside. When you watch the replay back, it was one of them ones, basically, although Harrison Armstrong makes a jump for the ball, doesn't touch it, isn't interfering with another man, but makes a jump for the ball. So that's the reason it gets disallowed, because he's in an offside position.
Yeah, I see.
It's like the City one that got disallowed.
A lot of VAR controversy recently. It's just sort of and moving swiftly on to VAR controversy, we moved to the AFCON final.
Oh God!
I mean,
I love AFCON.
Wow, I mean, AFCON is such, in my opinion, just an underrated tournament in sports in general. It gives you so many incredible moments, and a fight for the little team as well. There's
a fan that stood still for 70
exactly,
minutes. Game.
That's incredible. The bloke who came in full sort of diamond suit, that's incredible.
Love AFCON.
And then the final as well just sums up the entire tournament beautifully. 90 minutes, a cagey 0-0 between Senegal and Morocco, and then all hell breaks loose pretty much.
Yeah,
and then for 90 minutes, it was a cagey 0-0 between Morocco,
Senegal, basically, yeah.
Home.
Yeah, more or less, yeah. Senegal didn't decide to show up until that 5 minutes was added at the end of the 90 minutes.
I was sure they was on the pitch in the first place before they walked off.
Yeah, I mean, so for those who don't know, so Senegal had it in the back of the net in the 92nd minute. It was disallowed for a soft challenge, really. It wasn't anything. It shouldn't have been a sort of foul or anything. And then Morocco go up to the other end and get a penalty for a similarly soft decision. And with that, Senegal and their coach decide to walk off and go to the dressing room and stay there for about 20 minutes. And then well done, Sadio Mane, for picking his head up, and he's like, look, if they score this, so be it. That's fine.
Take them all.
We got to a final, brilliant. Took his players out. Brennan Diaz, standing over the penalty, the weight of his nation on his shoulders, looks at Edouard Mendy and Panenka's it.
With his weaker foot.
Panenka's
He's a left-footed.
Panenka's it with his weaker foot after Edouard Mendy has had a history of saving Panenka penalties.
Yeah,
you decide to Panenka in a cup final in the 124th minute or something.
But by the time it happened, I think it was about 18 minutes into injury time because of the fact they walked off.
Once your opponents have walked away from the pitch because you've had a penalty, you have to score that. That is most penalties you think you have to score.
Okay, yeah.
You have to score that. You can't miss.
Of course.
There's no level of missing on purpose that can justify Panenkaing the ball down the middle.
Yeah.
When your team is 50 years of her away.
That
is the equivalent. Had England got to the European final, stormed off the pitch, and Harry Kane Panenkas the ball at the keeper with his weaker foot.
If Italy stormed off the pitch and came back on, and Harry Kane decided to Panenka it, he wouldn't see that he would not survive North London.
He's being sent to France
forever.
He's
gone.
There's no.
Yeah. If you're gonna miss, at least miss with character.
Exactly. At least try and put it in a corner.
Well, I've seen some bad penalties myself. I was at the Everton game in the FA Cup the other week, which went to a penalty shootout, and we lost 3-0.
Oh, yes.
And it was 3 of the worst penalties. I don't blame James Garner because he'd already took scored a penalty in the game.
That Sunderland keeper was on something that night. But so the main question is: was Senegal right to do this, or was it maybe a bit unjustified and not in the spirit of the game?
I think they are more than in their rights to feel that they've been done in. They have been done in. Like having a goal disallowed for a reason that in theory shouldn't be disallowed at all is one issue, and then to get a separate one, because they're not interlinked. He's not taken their goal away and thought, well, I'll take the goal away and then we'll get a penalty. It's not a chain of events. It's 2 separate events very close to each other that have done them over and will wind them up. So they are right to feel unjustified, as a lot of teams have been. Whether it's a case of storming off the pitch or not is the separate matter. The fans can kick off, the players can kick off.
Yeah, of course, because there was fights in the stand during sort of.
There was fights in the touchline.
During the game, during the penalty decision, there's a lot of sort of speculation that.
Mendy had a towel as well.
Yeah, well, Morocco had allegedly rigged the competition, and they were sort of to go on to win it. And obviously, Edouard Mendy's towel boy, as it was so named, was getting attacked by Moroccan ball boys. This is all of this happening on the touchline.
Did you see as well? One of the funniest parts as well about the Panenka penalty was, when they showed the videos of the fan zone, whoever was in control of the Morocco fan zone set off confetti when he Panenkaed the penalty, thinking that they was about to win the tournament.
Win the tournament, yeah. Oh, I mean,
tragic.
Tragic to see, but there was so much sort of going against Senegal, but they've still come out and
Brilliant goal as well.
And it was an extraordinary finish.
Yes.
To win them the tournament, and I think rightly as well. They've had a brilliant tournament coming in. They've had so much talent. You know, Idrissa Gueye, Sadio Mane is still there and playing somehow. And Jai, I mean, Pat Matasar in the middle, Koulibaly at centre back, and Edouard Mendy between the sticks. They have a very, very strong team and deserve, and you know, as well as Morocco, again, strong team, and both deserve to be in the final, I think.
And poor Brahim Diaz.
But
he's
done it to himself.
He's done it to himself, and B, is he allowed to show up at Real Madrid again?
Yeah.
This is
the issue with Panenka penalties, and in general, not even the fact that it was the last kick of the game in not a European competition, in an African competition that your country's not won for 50 years. If we take away all that context, Panenka penalties in general, if they miss, are seen as foolish and stupid and daft.
Yeah.
But if they go in, the only difference with a Panenka penalty is it moves considerably slower. If he'd have put that in the bottom left corner and Edouard Mendy had still saved it, he's still just as likely missed. You just clown on the cojones that it takes to stare down quite a good penalty keeper.
Yeah,
and
a very tall man as well.
A big man.
A tall man that can very easily shift his weight and just put his hand out and it'll be fine.
Chip it down the middle with your weak foot. There's a little bit of respect that has to go on Brahim Diaz for that, because that is a braver decision than a lot of people would make.
It is sort of equivalent to like Robert Baggio, the man who died standing.
Yeah.
Like it's sort of like, you know, you've tried something cool and it's just not worked. And now
what
you're
goes through your head to want to do that?
I think a little bit comes down to Edouard, because Edouard Mendy gave it a little bit of chirping at him and stuff like that. And obviously, you know, throughout the course of the game, there was so much going on the touchline with all the towels, shenanigans, the crowd fighting, all this.
The pressure to come out.
And especially waiting almost 20 minutes to take a penalty. I mean, if this happened, this would never be allowed in any other competition. I don't think. I think if this happened in the Premier League, the game would have to be forfeited by the other team, abandoned. And the other team would have to forfeit for bad sports.
Yeah.
I think that's just, but because of the sort of magnitude of this final.
And I think it's the first time it's not the first time we've seen teams go off the pitch.
No,
but it's the first time we've seen teams go off the pitch for this reason.
Yeah.
For a bad referee decision. Which, to be fair, the one as much as AFCON is brilliant and it's a fantastic tournament, the refereeing, just in this tournament alone, has been not to the standard it should be for something of as big as a nation's cup.
Yeah,
it should be much better standard than
in the last one. The referee blowing his whistle at 85
minutes.
Yes,
of course.
Players all going home. The players coming back. The referee blowing his whistle early again.
Yeah. It's insane. The sort of
we think Anthony Taylor's bad.
I know, yeah. Well, this is exactly it. We think we've got it bad. Think poor Sadio Mane has had to buck up the courage to bring all of his players out after they've been shunned to the dressing room.
Yeah, it does take proper leadership, doesn't it? Because he will have felt just as
hard done by.
Done by. But
you just can't.
You've got to think about, like, you can't just storm off the pitch. No. Like, everybody has the right to feel hard done by, and it's a final for your country, and it's the biggest stage that you'll possibly ever play on.
Yeah.
Unless it's another miracle like Morocco in the World Cup.
Exactly,
World Cup final. This might
first African team to ever get to a semi-final as well.
It might be the only international final your team get to. So there is a lot on their backs, and there's a lot riding them, and a lot going through their heads. But you can't just storm off the pitch.
No, it's not.
It's not in the spirit.
It's not in the spirit of the game.
Morocco feel hard done by for them storming off the pitch, it not being abandoned, and then coming back.
And it's sort of probably, you know, Diaz's, you know, headspace is all over the place. I think if they'd had stayed on the pitch and he had still Panenka'd it,
it wouldn't have been.
It wouldn't have been as bad. And you know, that's his own stupid decision. He didn't have so much time to wait to make his decision.
18 minutes to think.
Yeah, 18 minutes to think.
Thinking, how do I take this?
How do I take this penalty? You know what? I'm going to chip it down the middle to a prolific Panenka.
At least if you're going to miss it, like I said, go out as a. I know you're not a hero if you miss a penalty, but you know, go out on your sword. Like when you look, I know it wasn't the best penalty. You know, when you looked at like Saka when he missed his penalty in the Euros, like at the end of the day, yes, it wasn't the best penalty, but you know, he was a young kid who'd never taken a penalty and he stuck up. And I felt bad for him.
Same with like Rashford.
But, Yeah.
and Sancho as well. All of them pretty young, and just the pressure got to them, unfortunately.
But you think in the Prem, if we'd have done this, where every week there's a bad decision, and we just go, okay, we're going to walk off the pitch, you'd never get a game done.
A game would never get done.
No.
Oh no, absolutely not.
Penalties are horrible as well.
And
by the way.
oh yeah, no, it's not
None
great.
of us have played football to a particularly high level, but we'll have all played to an extent of taking a penalty is horrible. Like, the goal looks massive until you're 12 yards away from it and there's a keeper in the way.
Oh,
like
100%.
A big keeper as well.
Yeah. Oh, there's always one lanky guy at your secondary school that is always in goal, and it's just prime example.
That was me. Yeah. But even then, the main technique is, if you don't know how to take a penalty,
Smash it.
head down and whip it. Like, just put your laces through it and hope it goes in.
Whack it. Oh, 100%.
Harry Maguire is potentially
The best penalty taker England's ever
because
seen.
he just whacks it once.
Wallops it. Yes. Well, there you go. There's our African roundup.
Your uni, your team. This is the Shock Radio Sports Show.
Hello there, and welcome back to the Shock Sports Radio Show. And now we're going to move on to the Australian Open, currently in its early stages. How are we feeling so far?
Well, as far as British tennis players go, we've got one left.
Ooh.
So it's not
ideal.
a brilliant sport for the British at the moment. Emma Raducanu getting suitably thumped yesterday, going out for straight sets, and his name has gone out of my head.
Anastasia Potapova?
No, our last British.
Cameron Norrie.
That's the one.
Yes, Cameron Norrie.
Isn't that what I just said?
Being our only.
Is it? Sorry, Cameron.
no.
Sorry, I've just ignored. I've just ignored you there. Sorry about that.
No, I heard.
Who Emma Raducanu went out to was Anastasia.
So is it Jack Draper isn't participating in Australian Open?
I don't know where he is. He's fallen off the face of the earth recently.
He's gone. He's lost his tennis racket. And
No, exactly. So yeah, Cameron Norrie. I mean, do we think he can go the distance?
Who knows? He wasn't in the last one. He didn't qualify for the last Australian Open. He's qualified for this one, and currently is flying the Union Jack high.
Yeah.
In his tennis standard. So hopefully he goes on and win.
I'm pretty sure he's playing against, I think is it Zverev, the German guy, in the next round?
Yeah.
And it would be a suitably English or British thing to get thumped by a German.
Yeah, never write off the Germans in any sport.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
Carlos Alcaraz again.
The Alcaraz will sin
is always there. He will soon break himself into the bit. He will probably make it the big four, big five, if you count Andy Murray in that of tennis players ever.
Oh, 100%. I mean, he's like world number one. He's won so many trophies.
He's still so young. I know Sinner
exactly.
and Alcaraz are both so young.
And according
both of
to
them are young.
Rafa Nadal, just as good at golf as he is
Apparently so.
at tennis. So our Ryder Cup team is looking strong.
It's
next year.
looking fantastic
Once
once again. As always.
And who can drive a golf ball harder than a tennis player? Like that is.
It's
You
the
got people
perfect
that,
combination of sports, really.
It's similar skill.
Similar, yeah. That maybe golf and cricket is on another standard
Yeah.
as well.
Just how close, but it will be. I mean, hopefully, the Brit takes it home. Obviously, we want the British athlete to win. Andy Murray obviously not being there to represent us anymore, like he was in every single tournament. Seemingly, Andy Murray never played a game in a tournament, but was always in the final.
Always in the final.
I
Yeah,
never once saw him win, but every time he was there. But it's a bit like Lautaro Martinez scoring goals. You never see it, but he gets 20
somehow-
a year.
it somehow
Andy Murray
happens.
never wins a tennis match, but always wins.
Is always in the
I don't
final, yeah.
understand it. But Emma Raducanu, who is in theory the favourite for every British tennis group that go, every tennis athlete that goes from Britain, Emma Raducanu, you think would be the one to win. Crashing out quite early as well, realistically.
Round of 64.
It's
Second round, is it?
Yeah, second round.
That is it. It's not. You'd say it's not good enough, but the thing is, yes, she was injured after that US Open win, but we've only really seen that US Open win.
Yeah.
It's a little bit like when we can't really relate it to football, but Leicester won the league and then they got relegated. No one said they crashed out of the Premier League because it was seen as like a one-off.
Yeah.
Whether Emma Raducanu in the US Open was just a one-off, whether it was a case of just an unbelievable purple patch and a bit of beginner's luck in there, like to qualify for a first one at something like 17 and win it.
Is incredible,
pretty
and then that sort of sets as difficult,
high standard.
unbelievably high standard for such a young up and coming athlete.
Yeah.
It sort of can sort of destroy you mentally
And seemingly
sometimes.
one that is relatively injury prone. She's had a couple of injuries.
Oh, of
throughout her
course,
career.
yeah.
Because the issue
Knee and
is,
elbow, which are pretty bad as far as tennis
Yeah.
goes.
It's they're pretty important,
Can't
really.
run or
Pretty
swing your
important.
arm,
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
gonna struggle in tennis.
And yeah, the issue, obviously, like you said, is the fact that at such a young age, she's basically become like the poster girl of British tennis, and that's such a weight to have to carry that, you know, she's carrying the whole hopes of like a nation, and you know, this like you said, she's almost set herself up for failure purely because of her own success. The fact that she did so well and it was so unexpected that now it's expected of her to constantly be contending, but it is quite an unfair expectation because, you know, she is still young and she has had a lot of injuries.
Still learning so much,
Yeah.
even at the quality that she is.
Yes.
Yeah, we've seen a different play style from her as well this time. A lot more topspin, a lot more faster, low deliveries as opposed to playing. She used to play very diagonal and then the occasional drop shot. They've been very fast, very top heavy spin shots, and that seemingly has backfired. We've seen a 16% drop in her return rate on her forearm, which doesn't seem like that much, but people very rarely miss forearm returns, miss them, especially not necessarily going out or being hit back, miss them completely and have it go past when she's aimed for the ball. That very rarely happens. Whether this new play style has affected her, whether it's a case of starting really slow and trusting the process before she eventually comes back and finds a style that works for her. We saw it back in the day, and I can't remember her name for the life of me, but there was a female tennis player that used to play with two hands, and that was unheard of. Would play with two hands, forearm and backarm, and that was forehand and backhand even. And that at the time was unprecedented, and it was a slow process, and eventually she became world number one. Whether we see that with Emma Raducanu with this heavier topspin and much faster lower deliveries, whether we see her slowly climb her way back up from, I think she's 36 in world rankings at the minute, whether we see her climb back to top 10, top 5, top 1, touch wood. But
And when you look at how many coaches that she's been through as well, I don't think that particularly, I don't know loads about tennis, but I don't think that particularly helps either. It's like, she's probably been through more coaches than like Watford have managers, which is saying something.
Ooh,
You know what I mean?
that's tough.
I'd love to do the maths on it, but she has been through a hell of a lot of coaches, and I feel like
If
you
each
know,
one of
if
them's
they're
bringing in a different
different
play
style, yeah,
then
it
she
don't
can't
help.
stick to one.
yeah, you've got to find one
suppose,
that's not really a case. And it's such a unique sport, really, tennis, because your technique is directly related to who is playing against you. If you play a certain way and they hit it the other way, you're pretty scuppered. If you've been practicing hitting like forearm shots every time, learning forearm, and then you play an opponent that loves their backhand, you're going to struggle a bit because of it completely changes. You can only, if you hit a tennis ball at a wall, it comes back one way. You hit a tennis ball at a coach, it comes back one way. You hit a tennis ball at a player that hits it another way. You've got to think on your feet.
Exactly,
And that's the issue with any sport. Thinking on your feet, often there's not a lot of planning in that because you're on your feet.
it's just you and your
obviously.
opponent.
And you've got, and it's bloody fast a tennis ball as well. Like, they are not slow.
They get hit at some speed.
They are pretty quick. You've got not a lot of time to think about. From that ball being hit off your opponent's racket to get into you is like, there's not enough time to bake an egg. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Exactly.
You've got to hit
Even,
that
especially
fast.
even in the Aussie heat as well.
You've got to think fast and know how to respond fast. And if it's a case of a lot of different techniques and coming back from injury and a lot of pressure being potentially England's number one, there's a lot of things going on in those couple of seconds that means you've got to hit the ball back perfectly. So it might just be a case of maybe the pressure's getting a bit much. Maybe we need, as a nation, to think Emma Raducanu's not going to win Opens for the next few years. Maybe that's the case, and we need to just accept that. Andy Murray didn't come out flying and win everything. Like, there was a loads of years because was playing against Djokovic and Nadal and Roger Federer.
I guess it's because it's the equivalent. Say if you put it in another sport, it's like she's the equivalent of a boxer that's just come up and fought the world champion and knocked them out, and then you expect them to go on
this
a
incredible
crazy
run.
Yeah, Andy Ruiz,
you
when he
keep
went
getting
out
beat.
and
Yes.
Joshua was never world number
You
one.
know what I mean?
Exactly, yeah. Well, speaking of Novak Djokovic, he's still number 4 in the world
He's still there and
rankings.
about.
He's still hanging about, even at the age of 38. I mean, that's incredible. I mean, his sort of longevity in the sport. You know, we saw sort of a great rivalry between him and Andy Murray, and now Murray's sort of gone to the sidelines. And Djokovic is still going, and he's still playing, and he's still, you know, in that top 5 in the world. I mean, how long do you think he's got left? Do you think he's got many more Opens, or, you know, do you think he could ever reach number 1 again? I don't know.
I think he'd want to.
He definitely wants to.
Like most athletes, I think it's a thing of most athletes in sports know kind of when their time has come, and I think he'll definitely be one of them athletes that will be like, if I don't think I'm competitive or able to win anymore, then he'll probably call it a day.
Yeah.
Obviously, I don't know, but I feel like that's typically the mentality you have in sports, because someone like Novak Djokovic, who's a serial winner, who's won so many Grand Slams, he's gonna want to win, and he doesn't really have any interest in not being competitive and not winning.
Of course.
You know what I mean?
Anything?
It's always hard. Once they've fallen off from number one,
Yeah. It's difficult
you
to
know,
get
that
back
might be
there.
it.
Yeah.
But it's whether it's a case of him not fighting for number one. Like, you put the pressure on for fighting for number one, that's when mistakes start to come in.
Yeah, of
Whether it's a
course.
case of I still want to be competitive, I still want to make semi-finals, I still want to make the final, whether I win or not, because players like Carlos Alcaraz and Sinner coming back in, not back in, but coming onto the scene, like, they're so good. And
Yeah.
they're so
Young.
good because they'll have learnt from him as well.
Exactly.
He's been going
Growing up and watching it.
forever.
Yeah.
Like,
Exactly.
they've been watching him and learning from him. So everything that he will do, they'll have seen on the telly growing up. So he can't bring anything new now against not only new blood, but excellent new blood, like brilliant quality new blood.
Generational talent.
Incredible. Yeah, exactly.
So whether it's a case, I don't think it's a case of him fighting to get number one again. I think it's more of a case of, can he keep going before he becomes obsolete? Before he just is old news.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And he's not competing at the level he'll want to compete at,
Yeah.
like Cameron.
He's not going
So
to
touched on.
26, is he? Like,
No, exactly. No.
there's no
He won't get to the round of 16 and think, yeah, I'm good. I'm happy with
Yeah.
that. He'll want to go as far as he can. Still trying to compete with these young, agile lads as a 38.
When Novak Djokovic throws in the towel, no one's going, oh, he was washed up anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
Novak
He's
Djokovic.
still up there. It's incredible. But moving on to the NFL, it's coming closer and closer to that Super Bowl final.
February 8th.
February 8th.
2 more weeks,
Big date.
is it?
Yeah, exactly.
Ignite.
Well, we've still got the championships to go between the Patriots and the Broncos as our first game, and then the Rams and the Seahawks. I mean, who do we think is going to be in the final out of those?
See, in theory and historically, the Patriots are the favourite. They are beasts at the Super Bowl, and they've won 6 qualified, been in 11, won 6. And
Yeah.
to be in have that level of final consistency and that killer instinct, that's pretty good.
Yeah, well, they beat out the Texans to get into the championships by 14 points. I mean, that's
A battering.
a battering, exactly.
Whereas the Broncos,
Broncos?
was it not? The one
Yeah.
by 3?
Broncos, yes, the Broncos and the Bills, that ended 33-30
And
to
also,
the Broncos.
the
which-
Broncos
Go on.
have also, their quarterback has just broken his ankle.
Yes.
Meaning they've got to play their backup
Sort of-
quarterback, which compared to other sports, it's
quite detrimental.
quite detrimental.
It is quite detrimental.
It's not just, oh, we're putting our backup striker. or
Oh, they've
whatever.
got like backup goalkeeper
Like,
or
these
something. Like he
people
can still
don't-
save.
Don't particularly play
Oh,
as
yeah.
much.
No,
You know what I mean?
They're sort of they are sat on the bench a lot of the time.
And they're very young.
Exactly. And then Rams and Seahawks. Seahawks getting to the championships beat the 49ers by 41-6.
Yes.
And I saw somewhere that the Seahawks scored the winning touchdown within 13 seconds
Yes.
of the game.
He caught the ball and he literally ran the entire length.
I think it was a 95-yard touchdown.
Yes.
And if they had kept at that, they would have won the game because the 49ers got the touchdown but missed their
It's about
opportunity for
40
extra
something,
points.
just like,
You would hate
Was
to
it
play pig in the
6?
middle against a quarterback, wouldn't you?
I know, yeah.
It's never going to drop.
No, it's never. Oh no! God.
just
The
not-
Seahawks seem to just never drop anything.
It's
They were
just
just
not.
scoring touchdown after touchdown after touchdown.
Not fair.
But the highlight game for me was the Rams and the Bears. That was an incredible game, and it seemingly the Chicago Bears always like to leave it late in the fourth quarter. I saw a stat where their average points always come from the fourth quarter. They seem to sort of slowly build up in the fourth. I mean, it ended unfortunately 2017, but the Cubs brought it back.
Yeah.
They needed sort of 2 or 3 touchdowns in the last throw of the game.
yeah.
They got
What a
it.
throw.
And incredible.
Unbelievable catch as well.
It was unbelievable.
It is a very entertaining sport, and we do hope to see a good Super Bowl. I imagine it'll be the Seahawks and the Patriots
Yeah.
that are in that final, and I think it'll be the Patriots that go on and win it. But
Yeah, I think so.
who knows? There's no real
I have.
guarantee, is there?
Yeah. So you're going Patriots?
I'm going to say the same as...
Okay. Well, I'm going to go Seahawks because I think they're destroying the 49ers. Just means they're going to go straight through and win it.
Love an albatross.
Exactly.
This is the Shock Radio Sports Show.
Hello and welcome back. And so to finish off, we're going to be talking a little bit about the darts. Luke Littler again.
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 Just seemingly unstoppable.
He's Philip Taylor Barton.
Yeah, well, this is it's looking likely. It's sort of, at an age younger than the three of us, which is a horrible thought. I'm sorry for anybody listening, but
I think he's older than me by like a year.
I'm definitely older than him, and that is a worrying thought.
Yeah.
But I mean, so again, he just Van Veen, as good as he is, won the first set. I thought, oh, here we go, competitive match,
final,
and then suddenly. Seven straight sets, and Luke Littler's the world champion again, defending world champion.
It did seem like it was. I know it was only one set or like one or two sets, but it did seem like it was going to be competitive.
And it did rattle him a little bit as well. He was, there was a bit of effing and jeffing on the stage.
And then once he got a dart in his hand, he just
battered
him. Yeah, Jean Van Veen did, but he did that in the semi-final as well. I don't know whether his darts are made of sandpaper, but seemingly he seems to make himself bleed and everything.
You had the wasp as well that popped up.
The Ali wasp.
They had to remove the ball. It was a great final. It just wasn't as competitive as we thought.
Yeah, the wasp was the biggest threat to Luke Littler, seemingly by the look of it. Yeah, Jean Van Veen had a good first set. And then his head went. I think after Luke had done 2 sets in a row. I think after then he was sort of okay.
I think with young people, like young sports people, it's just a mentality thing.
Of course, Van Veen's only 23, I think, as
Yeah.
well. He doesn't. I mean, obviously
He's
he
won
doesn't
the
look,
youth
look it,
championships, hasn't he? Like 2 years in a row.
I think he was young darts player champions a couple of times. But
second Dutch. Or is he the Dutch number
I
one
think
or
he's Dutch number 1, but he's still
behind or just ahead of Michael van Gerwen.
Yes, I think
pretty good.
Yeah, I think he's just ahead of Michael van Gerwen,
He's
but
moved up
in his
now,
mind he's still Michael van Gerwen's number 1, obviously.
Yeah.
Which makes sense. And another thing, the Ashes as well happened on our breakaway. I mean, dearie me, where do we even begin with that? That was a. I mean, well, I saw we're not very good, and we're just very stubborn, aren't we? It wasn't
Why
great.
are the English like? Why? And I say the English like we're not English, but like, why are we just pretty bad at sport?
We're just average. We are just.
Considering we seem like
on
paper, we seem like we should be good at sports. When you look at our football team,
If you look at our football team, our cricket team,
Yeah.
like we should be
exactly.
exactly.
Teams.
But I saw an interesting thing that in Australia, like this is our first time we've won in Australia in about since the 2010, 2011 Ashes winning side with Andrew Strauss captaining it. It was, but then
At least we didn't lose it. At least we didn't win a match when we were 3-0 down.
Exactly. Well, yeah, exactly. I know. At least we won it when it mattered.
Yeah. So we nearly had a comeback.
Yeah, nearly. But I also saw an interesting thing that since 2018, I think that only 4 or 5 nations have won in Australia. India have won in Australia 3 times, and then I think the West Indies won 1. And now England are now in that, so it is pretty difficult to go down to Australia.
Man, but especially because it was a day-night tournament as well. Like there was a lot of day-night games.
Yeah.
Australia have some of the best day-night players in the world on their team, and it's crucial. They're not a bad team. No. We didn't go to someone that we should be beating. Like there wasn't a great deal of optimism, I don't think, in the English fan camp before the Ashes.
No, but if you look at it,
weren't good enough.
We just weren't good enough. But if on paper, if you would have said Josh Hazlewood, one of their most influential bowlers, is going to be out for the entire tournament. Pat Cummins is going to play one of them. They're going to bring in Nisa, Scott Boland. Obviously, Mitchell Starc is there. He played all 5 tests and was just incredible. He was my player of the tournament. I mean, as much as Joe Root was brilliant, Bethel was brilliant at the end there. Ben Stokes had a first test. He was hit and miss. But there's just some serious issues we need to address. And I think in the T20 World Cup that's coming up in Sri Lanka and Pakistan and India, if we don't do well in this tournament, we seriously need to look at the top of the food chain with McCullum and Key,
4-1 is a bat. I mean, there was people, I was certainly probably one of them that thought England wouldn't win a single test. I thought we were going to go down to Australia and get wiped.
When Crawley got out in that first over in the first test, I knew that
about
all the optimism.
Yeah, we'd won one day and then in half an hour decided we forgot how to throw a cricket ball and battered.
Travis Head decided it born the meme of Trav Ball, which was incredible.
There was times during the Ashes that I forgot that cricket was on.
Yeah.
because I would wake up after 3 days of the game and think, what's the one today?
Oh yeah, I did miss the first day of the SCG because I forgot that we were playing. I forgot that the Ashes were still playing.
After their first test loss, that was the whole tournament. I was like, I don't need to watch the rest of this.
No, I know the direction this is going.
When it's on that first test, we were good. Like England were not bad on that first test. We were leading and we were all right, and then just got capitulated for half an hour. We're just dreadful. Fast.
Yeah, I know it's terrible. We lost in 12 days. We lost the Ashes in 12 days. That's like the quickest.
Woeful, isn't it?
That is woeful. But there you go. It's happened, and we'll forget about it, and
until the next Ashes.
until the next Ashes in 2027, where who knows the state of English cricket now. But moving on.
Crawley is not going to be the sports personality of the year, is he?
Oh well. Speaking of sports personality of the year, that also happened while we were off. Rory McIlroy.
Yeah, I don't think whoever would have won it, everyone was going to be a bit happy.
Yeah.
Lando Norris drivers champion of the year, Elliott, Blain, the Lions
champion.
Of course,
Esme Morgan, Hannah Hampton, Chloe Kelly, like a good rank of people to be there. Rory McIlroy won it. What a year for Rory McIlroy! It is
wow, incredible.
Had a lot of bottles of champagne.
There was a lot of sort of Toriness.
A lot of nights at his house where he got to pick the takeaway. That's the general rule.
So he was in charge of the speaker that night. That's what it was.
He was picking the filth.
But yeah, I think Rory McIlroy is well deserved, and up against, like you say, quite a strong sort of nomination lineup really.
Even the people that went out early, Chloe Kelly went out early, Hannah Hampton went out early.
They all had a good year.
Yeah,
really.
they went out early. Like they've not had bad years. No. And Michelle Adjumang, I think, was quite far into the young sports personality of the year winners as well. I don't think she won it. I think probably again went to the bit there. Or she might have won it. I can't quite remember. But again, another excellent year for her. Excellent Euros. Chloe Kelly going out like one of the better years, I think. For
I think in terms of sort of it's like anybody could.
Last year we had Gilly Hodgkinson win it, and I think she won it over Luke Littler again, actually. So
I know, bless him. He's doing all this work and he's
trying
his very best. Bless him. And then just sort of but it's because the darts championship is always at the end of the year. So they
by the time he wins it, it's January.
Exactly, and then he'll fumble like in the Bahrain. He got destroyed by Go Price.
Or he'll just miss the registration.
Yeah, exactly. He'll just exactly. He'll get stuck in traffic or something.
Just wake up to it. Just not be there. He'll hit the reserve button on it. He'll hit the snooze button, and then he'll forget.
It'll be grand. I've got another 5. Oh wait, no, I don't.
Got another million.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, deserving winner, I think. Rory McIlroy, the Ryder Cup.
Right, exactly, Ryder Cup, and
green
jacket as well. That was his. That was what he wanted to win. The Ryder Cup was a side quest for him. And he's done that. He's done that before. Exactly, he's done it before. We always win that. That was fine. It was the Masters that he wanted to win. He wanted that green jacket that he's wanted for throughout his career. That completes his sort of trifecta of awards that he can win.
It would have been very nice to see someone like Chloe Kelly win it, but I think that's just because she caused me many nights of just elation during those Euros. I'm a little bit biased.
The first time was so nice we had to do it twice. That's
the level of stress that that was reduced in my life because Chloe Kelly existed.
The night's sleep were incredible.
So I am very biased.
Fair enough.
A good sports personality of the year, and to cap off what was a great year for British sports. Really, I think we've had a wonderful year.
Yeah, had a good year.
I don't see sort of anything really sort of too bad. For me personally, my highlight was the India England series that went over the summer. That was some of the best Test cricket I've seen in quite a while, and I'm glad it ended 2-2 because I just don't think if we'd have won that last Test and it was 3-1, I don't think that was a fair scoreline to what it was.
Chris Brooks batting with one arm.
Bang with one arm. Annoyingly, he didn't ever face a ball, but just even having the gall
to go out
with one arm for his country. I mean, fair play to him.
Go out on your sword, as I said.
Yeah,
exactly. 2026.
Well, here's
hopefully we win the World Cup this year, and it's
a
better year.
Finally, for the World Cup predictions, anything? England, how well do you think England are going to do?
We'll win.
Okay. We'll win. Of course we'll win. Right, that is it for the Shock Sport.
Your uni, your team. From kick-off to the final whistle. This is the Shock Radio Sports Show.